Okay. Cave paintings and stencils. Cave paintings provide an invaluable window into the lives of our ancestors, how they lived, what they experienced. Some have been preserved here on our continent, although most have sadly been lost in void outs. The oldest cave paintings of all are believed to date back 64,800 years or more, but all of these are, or perhaps were, in Europe. What's become of them, I wonder? Have they too been obliterated in annihilation events? If not, are the caves containing them now infested with BTs? Does Europe still exist even? One cannot help but worry that these vital records have been forever lost to us, but I digress. The first paintings were likely made by the Neanderthals. They were crude depictions of creatures such as deer, bison, and horses, interspersed with stenciled outlines of large hands. Some assert that these are the signatures of primeval painters, but could they also not be depictions of BT handprints? Could our ancient relatives be trying to tell us something, or issue a warning? Or is that perhaps one flight of fancy too far? Bridges needs Homo Ludens. Okay. His ones are always interesting. They're difficult to read because he's extremely verbose, but I'll try to get through this one as well. Okay. I have already spoken at length about the new varieties of man that emerged in the wake of chiral pollution and from the resulting phobias. Homo demons, Homo gestalt, not to mention those touched by dooms. This much is common knowledge. I, however, would posit that we could further categorize the humans of this day and age. Take our comrades Mama and Lochner, for example. They are creators, are they not? People who use tools and make things. Craftspeople. Homo faber. Consider Dead Man. One who looks the dead in their eyes every day. One who takes their organs as his own. His relationship with death is transcendental, sublime. It is, in essence, his faith, and he a homo religiosus. As for myself, Homo loquens, a linguist, one who seeks to understand this world through the language of science and logic. There is, however, another very special type of human, a breed that would serve Bridges rather well. Homo ludens, they who play. Be it deliberate or unintentional, Homo ludens unite people, creating culture, shaping the very world around them, not through violence, nor laws or prescriptions, but rather through metaphorical acts of play. I know of only one person who matches this description, the one they called the Great Deliverer, Sam Porter. Despite Die Hartman's best efforts, however, his whereabouts are still unknown. So yeah, this is a little statement here, though. Homo Ludens being basically the person playing the game, Sam Bridges. Basically a breed uniting people, creating culture, shaping the very world around them. So, yeah. Big up to the gamer community. And he says here, hold on, not through violence. So I think there's a little statement there as well. Okay, so we've got prepper interviews here. I'm going to scan through these because it's going to get very long. I don't think... Okay, I think this one's probably a little bit... I feel like this one's probably worth reading. People aren't meant to stay cooped up inside or live in one place forever. It's not natural. Exploration is in our DNA. The great outdoors is where we're supposed to be. You know our ancestors started out in Africa, right? Well, they didn't just stay there, did they? They wanted to try and find a better life, a better home. That's why humanity spread all across the planet. And as we've travelled, we've evolved. Little by little, we've grown tougher and smarter. Even our immune systems have become stronger. But if we stop moving, stop exploring, that all stops too. We stagnate as a species, maybe even regress. That's why we can't hole up in the cities. There's a whole universe beyond those chiral clouds I'd love to explore someday. But if that's not possible, then I want to at least get as close as I can, climb the biggest mountains, go as high as I can go, and try and see what lies beyond. And I want to do it with the love of my life, the world-class mountaineer who showed me the beauty of this place, my guiding star. Together, there's no peak we can't summit. Nice. But yeah, definitely, I mean, as someone who's gotten to see a little bit of the world, and there's obviously so much more I'd love to see as well, I feel like travel is one of the greatest investments that someone can make in themselves, because the more you get out there, the more you see the world, the more you see how other people live, different cultures, people that don't look like you do, people that don't live like you do, that don't eat like you do. The more accepting you become of different cultures, the more you realize that even though everyone might live different, they might look different, they might act different, there's also so many things that make us the same. and all of these really cool things. So like I think even like the simplest thing, like let's say racism, I think it's very difficult for someone to even fathom being racist if they've spent time traveling, seeing the world, going to the different continents and spending time with the different races and getting to know them, sharing in their culture and all that kind of stuff. I can't fathom someone who's done all of that come back from that journey and say, yeah, I hate all the racists, I'm a racist. Like that can't be possible. So I mean, that's just like one example of a way in which travel, seeing different things, having different experiences, and connecting with your fellow human beings is going to eradicate something negative from this world. But that's just one facet of it. There's just so many other cool things. So yeah, for you guys here, I mean, anyone who has the opportunity to travel, that has the time and the financial ability to do so, and like the health to do so, seriously, it's one of them things that you shouldn't procrastinate about. You shouldn't put it off. Just get out there and do it, man. Seriously. And I think for a lot of people, it's not. I speak to a lot of people who say, yeah, it's too expensive, I can't afford it, or I don't have the time, or all that kind of stuff. But to me, like that usually in a lot of cases is just an excuse. So let's say people like me who are like in their 20s, some of us are still going to be like single, we don't have family commitments, that kind of thing, and they're like, oh no, but I'm working all the time and I don't have the money for it. It's like, come on, man, you've got leave at certain amounts through the year, you've got weekends a lot of the time, you've got national holidays, these kind of things. And it's like, travel doesn't always have to mean like if you live in the UK, you go off to New Zealand and you see that. If you're able to do that, that's great. But even going to a city that you've never been to before is something I consider travel. So go there. If there's like a national park that you've never been to, like go there for like a weekend. Go to like a different country that you've never been to before that's not particularly far away or particularly glamorous. It's like not the greatest tourist destination ever, but it's something new. Just get out there and just see stuff as much as you can. It's something that I'm trying to do more with my life, and just hoping that I get the opportunities to do it even more in the future. But yeah, it's my 2 cents on travel, and I definitely agree with the Mountaineer. Okay, so now we've got the Spiritualist. No one has been able to explain the Death Stranding, and I doubt anyone ever will. Certainly not with science. Science is only suitable for observation, measurement, objectivity. You can observe and measure as much as you like, but it will bring you no closer to an understanding. Sometimes you need to expand your mind and open your heart. Seek the souls of the dead. Listen to the waves on the beach. In antiquity, there were no barriers between the realms. People moved freely between the earth, outer space, and the world of the dead. What are myths and legends if not records of these journeys? My research has only confirmed this. The pyramids of Egypt and Mesoamerica, the Nazca lines, Stonehenge, all gateways built by humans in order to access the beach. Surely you can see that the wisdom of the ancients has never been more relevant. So yeah, bit of tinfoil hat stuff, but at the end of the day, when you're crafting like a game, and literally the universe is your oyster, you can do whatever the hell you want. Of course, you can make these kind of links, but... So yeah, I've been wondering about how Higgs fits in with this whole Mads business, and it reminded me of this little bit here. So he says, but now I've met someone who has none. Sorry, we have our limits, but now I've met someone who has none. Someone who could save the world from this madness, make it whole again, put our shattered pieces back together. So I was thinking either he's talking about Sam Bridges, or maybe he's talking about Mads, because, I mean, who else is in the story right now that he could be talking about? But I don't know. Okay, so we've got some reports on the Manhattan Void out. Right, let's have a read of these, because this is the one in which the president was killed, I believe. It's one of the most important void outs of the story. Who the hell? Those were the doctor's final words. At the time, no one knew to whom he was referring, and to be fair, there were more pressing issues at hand. The doctor in question was a surgeon specializing in cesarean sections. The procedure he was undertaking at the time, however, was slightly unusual in that he was operating on a mother who had been declared brain dead 7 months into her pregnancy. Oh, okay, so is this Mads' kid? She had been placed on life support, but since her blood pressure was decreasing and the fetus was showing signs of bradycardia, the decision was made to operate. Because the procedure was broadcast to medical researchers on a closed-circuit network, we are fortunate to have record of what took place. Per the footage, the incision was made without incident. The plan was apparently to remove the fetus from the womb and immediately place it in an NICU, where it would receive the necessary care. Prior to this, the surgeon would of course have to cut the umbilical cord. This is the moment that changed everything. the moment that the surgeon's hand touched the cord. In that instant, he uttered his infamous last words, "Who the hell?" Following a number of tests and experiments, the conclusion was reached that this incident was an annihilation event brought about by the doctor's contact with whatever or whomever he had seen upon touching the umbilical cord. Though it eventually became apparent that the doctor had been referring to BTs, at the time no one could explain the underlying cause of the incident. Some later theorized that if the same conditions, brain-dead mother, fetus, umbilical cord, could be created, then BTs could be detected and the mystery of the Death Stranding would be solved. Indeed, this was the theoretical basis upon which the government's own experiments and investigations would be conducted. They called the fetuses they used bridge babies, and the experiments became known as BB experiments. Soon after the government's program got underway, the tragedy of Manhattan occurred. Okay, so this is that background on how BB tech started to happen. The BB experiments were conducted at a Manhattan-based government facility in such extreme secrecy that little is known about them to this day. One thing that we do know for certain, however, is that the experiments ended in tragic failure, and we were directly responsible for the total annihilation of the island of Manhattan, as well as the death of the president, who had been observing the operations firsthand. I mean, at the end of the day, like, it's an annihilation event, right? And you are experimenting with a fetus and like umbilical cord and whatever that can cause an annihilation event. Why the fuck would you do these experiments in Manhattan, where if you make a mistake and cause an annihilation event, you're going to take out an entire city? That seems a bit crazy, but there we go. He was succeeded by then Vice President Bridget Strand, who shortly after her inauguration put an end to all further BB experiments and had all data destroyed. With her strong and steadfast leadership in the wake of the Void Out, she made great strides in quelling the chaos and unrest that had spread throughout the nation. She vowed to rebuild America, and devoted herself wholeheartedly to this end. In response, separatists who opposed Reconstruction emerged and steadily grew more aggressive in their activities. One faction even managed to acquire documents relating to the BB experiments, and some speculate that this data was used to restart them in secret. At that time, however, no BB units are known to have been successfully created, and BBs in general remained a taboo subject in government circles. So there we go. That is the latest in terms of the data that we have and all of the email. So the story, again, it's hotting up. It's definitely getting a lot more interesting as we move forward. Dots are being connected all over the place, and revelations are beginning to happen as well. We haven't got to fight these lion-looking ones yet. I do hope to get a chance as well. Wait a minute. Was there another prompt there that I missed? Hold on. Nightmares and memories. Nightmares of war. Oh, the first one was World War One. Okay, because I was going to say... But wait a minute, hold on. There was a plane in the first one as well, though. Were there warplanes in World War One? I guess there were. Wow. That's interesting. Okay, I'm not going to do this right now, but that's pretty cool. Okay, what else? Examine table. I think once we get to Hartman, shit's going to get seriously interesting. He's going to be able to provide a lot of answers. Okay, that's that done. Check on Lou. I like they call him Lou now. Lil Lou. It's funny that his wife was called Lucy and the kid's called Lou. Lucy Lou. Maybe Lucy Lou is like a favourite for James. It's like a very indirect homage to her. Alright, let's get out of here and see what we're going to come up against next. So we're going to get some new memories now, because I feel like we started to loop. We started to see ones we'd seen before.
Can I help you?
Die Hartman.
Holy shit. John, is that you? What are you doing here?
My web's checked in. They don't want a repeat of last year.
I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were perfect.
Yeah, okay, so it's starting to make a lot more sense now.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID. Clear.
Sam, the west side of that region is covered by a massive tar belt.
Yes, sir.
Beyond it is Edgenot City, the last bastion of civilization you'll find that far out. It's your final destination.
There we go.
Once you use the Cupid to connect it, the chiral network will span the entire continent. The rebirth of America is so close. And remember, that's where Amelie is being held captive. We need you to bring her home safely. But before you cross the tar belt, there's one more knot we need you to tie. Hartman will help you get it done.
Okay. Ha.
Sam, I'd like for you to bring me a few things. First, the dog tags you took from that soldier. Tuck them away in a pocket so you don't misplace them. Second, Mama's corpse. Her body shows no signs of necrosis, and I, for one, would like very much to know the reason why. Closer study may yield information that could prove instrumental in helping us to overcome the Death Stranding. Suffice it to say,
1 minute remaining.
I don't have much time. See to your preparations. I'll be waiting. You'll find an official order on the terminal.
Okay, she shows no signs of necrosis. Maybe she's lacking a car as well? Okay, let's have a look. Hartman's lab. That's fine. Winter clothes. I remember driving the truck up there last time. I mean, I guess I could do it again, but is it really that important? I'll go to Hartman's lab first. I'll probably have to return here anyway, so it's fine. And I'll probably try and go there with a vehicle this time. I need to see what's in my private locker before I move forward. Everyone's using trucks, though I might have to fabricate a motorbike. Okay.
All right, Sam. Take care of her. And don't worry, she won't go necro. Millingen's special. Be funny if these Ha of ours ended up being the key to saving us all.
Okay, so this is the second time we're carrying Mama, but this time it's a little bit different. There's a little bit of BT action, but nothing crazy. And there's no... I was going to say, are there any... Oh, there is a zipline there. That's cool. In which case, I might just do it like that. Private lock is pretty full. Alright, I'm not going to get too much stuff this time, because I've got a zip line again. I think I should be okay. I'm just going to go straight there.
Beginning scan. Have a pleasant journey.
I am definitely looking forward to meeting Hartman, though. I feel like that guy has just got a lot of answers.
Keep on keeping up.
Yeah, so corpses are always just, I guess, due to their shape and their weight distribution, they're harder to carry than the usual stuff. So even though it's only 70 kilograms... Oh, wait a minute. My power skeleton should be equipped. That's why I didn't equip it. Shit. Okay, that's better. Sam's back to being thick once again with his power skeleton.
Beginning scan. Have a pleasant journey.
Alrighty.
Thanks for the help.
Now, which one do we need to go to? Ah, shit, is that one blocked? And of course that's the one I need to get to. I guess I'll start with that one. Okay, so now we have a second one that we can get to from here. Another very well placed zip line. Saved us a lot of work. Yeah. 5,000 lives, deservedly so. Oh, I like the wrong thing there. There we go. Thank you. It's a good watchtower as well. Do I have enough? I don't have a PCC, so it wouldn't matter. I was wondering if I had the bandwidth to put one of my own here as well. Oh look, someone else who's not that great at delivery time. Stephen Lonely.
This one's for you.
That one's for you, Stephen Lonely. There's the lab. Okay. Metals 100. Special alloys. I haven't seen too many more big metals lying around or ceramics or anything like that. I feel like the memory chips are not easy to get, man. Getting all of the memory chips must be quite the mission. Oh, I didn't realize it's going to cut the music.
Stands a shadow of a man shaped just like me. My curiosity keeps me confused. But still I stand here on my own, with nothing left to lose.
That's a long note.
And with the rain I don't accept, wash away my sins. Simply trouble my walk home and my spirit.
Verifying ID. Clear. Weapons detected. All weapons will be locked until
Because I never said no or put up a fight. And I'm emotionally impaired. When I look at you,
His lab looks pretty swanky.
and I'm trying to keep these bones.
Okay, I think we played the track for long enough. Here is your cargo.
Delivery complete.
Alright, Hartman.
Displaying performance evaluation.
Oh yeah, stupid bots.
Request to join UCA. Registered. Awaiting Cupid connection.
Okay. Hartman's lab has joined. Where is Hartman himself? Thermal pad. Okay. Cool.
Please proceed into the facility with the cadaver. Good work.
Very well. So I actually get to walk around the facility a little bit. And they place stuff inside it. Cool. I'm going to place something here as well. It's a good place to put a sign, I think.